Hello, everyone. Yes, it's me again. Don't I look really tired? And I am. It's just getting worse and worse. I don't think I've had one good night's sleep, really, when it comes down to it, since True Mother had been held in detention. And it's just, for me, it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Can't sleep. I can't my body just aches from head to toe. It's like it's just it's one ache goes away, the next one shows up, and I think that when our hearts are connected like that, and you feel the pain of the other person. Anyway, besides, as I said, just worried. Who wouldn't worry? Okay, all right, all right. So there is that. So I feel like every day I look more just tired and yeah. Uh, just have to plow through it, right? And then, saw a good post, reminding us all again that let's not get politically involved in this. This is not about politics. This is about peace on earth. This is about praying for everyone, right? Yes, to do what? Number one, receive the blessing, change of lineage, teaching about the principles of creation. It's sad we have to even do that, right? Yes? How about don't abuse things out there? Yeah? Nobody should abuse anything out there. There's no need for that. Then why do it? So that's something, of course, that somehow needs to be bred out of us again, right? Yes? Okay, just saying. So more important things to do than to butt head with politicians or people who are abusing their power. Right? Again, it's one thing if you put a criminal behind bars, which that's True Mother isn't, and neither is that other pastor or any of right. Yeah, it's very sad what happened in Nigeria. Why? Why are we such a threat to people who do not believe in anything? What is that? Because we're under the umbrella of God? Because we're not willing to take a weapon in our hands, maybe? We've become too strong of a people out there? Can't be oppressed? Can't be enslaved? Uh, uh, Something went through my mind. Notice I do a lot of thinking now. The people that, who have a different belief than others around them and are the weaker part in something, yeah, where they line them up and due to their beliefs, no, nothing else. Oh, you call God a different name than we do, so, and they shoot him. Right? Line him up and shoot him. Uh, I don't get it. Why? And on how, yeah, I guess we're the weaker link somehow due to the fact that, yeah, if you're not willing to become part of the violence, you're gonna lose your life if you come across the wrong person who takes offense to that, right? But it seems like, well, if we're already the weaker link, then why are we such a threat out there to people who don't believe in God? Have decided that congregating and uh, uh, be united and stand united together under the umbrella of God. They're not going out and doing, okay, I'm just saying, in this day and age. What? How is that? How is that such a threat out there? I'm not getting it. Anyway, it's an odd one. So I guess, according to what a sister of mine in faith reminded us all is Just keep being peaceful. We're not here to create havoc. Keep teaching. This is a good time to keep teaching. Don't miss that window of opportunity to teach someone. Yes? Yeah. All right. So, then another one that I need to mention here. Um, I just saw, it was kind of disturbing. So, there's this drink out there called Feel Free. I've never seen it. Uh, most likely due to the fact, is that I don't go into any stores and in gas stations or whatever, and that's mostly where it's at. Looking for that drink or came across it. Oh, look, there's a new drink. Let's try this, right? I literally, I no, I don't stop anywhere. And most people when they're once they're out, they go stop somewhere and get coffee, this or that. And I'm a person who goes out, goes to the store I need to go to, get what I need, and then leave again and go home. I have coffee at home. I got water at home. Right? Yes, and tea at home. Yeah, there's very little soda here. Sometimes there's some uh, uh, 7 Up or something. That's very Sprite. It's very rare that there's a soda here in this house. Soda pop. What do they call it? Soft drinks. Wait. I forgot. Okay, my fogged up brain. Uh, but it has kratom in it. And kratom is an addictive substance. It's a drug. It's that's what it is. People can call it natural botanical drink. They call it. Yeah, okay, sure. But so why don't we have a cannabis drink out there? Yeah, there's a reason for that. Yeah, kratom is not much different, and it's very addictive, and it's available to children. And it's already shown, according to, I posted it to my Facebook. I went and checked it out. Is the story true, or is it true about this? I've never heard. It's been out there since 2021, 4 years. Enough time that, yeah, a lot of people got addicted to it. But that's one thing. Adults, well, if that's what you want to do, yeah. But again, are these people driving under the influence then? Oh, but listen. I have listened to, I'm an herb lady, and I have listened to all kinds of explanations of people out there going, yeah, but it doesn't have the same effect of this. And I'm going, stop right there. Don't want to hear the excuses. A drug is a drug. It's going to affect your system, and it's going to affect your cognizance. And that is that. Especially when you're out there driving around in a car or on a motorcycle, on a bike. I don't care what it is, even walking. I'm just saying. Yes. So no, don't try to give me any to the people who are doing that. Don't. And oftentimes, I said I'm well enough informed to say, let me tell you something about that drug. Yes. Yeah. Even the one that they call DMT. Am I saying it right? It's which is very interesting. Maybe we'll talk about that one another time. It actually okay. It actually does exist in everything, and it is like an energy high. Right? Yes, but in the way that we soak that up naturally, not drinking it, not eating it, not in any other way putting it on us. We soak that up naturally in small amounts. Yes, yeah, it's a you could call it, that's why people get into a euphoric state without any kind of other substances putting in their system. But it's in very small amounts. And it makes up the atmosphere of happiness in a way. Okay? So easy way to explain it. But it also comes in plants more concentrated, in certain plants. And people have figured that out. They extract it, make it really potent, and then guess what? No, it's become a drug. Now it's becoming another addictive drug. Yes? Why are people chasing a high like that? If you can just, okay, you know what? I'm not going to go there. Talking about this, I don't know how many times already. You work. I don't think that a happiness or a high of any kind of whatever can just be a truly spiritual high. Energy that keeps you going in life, finding joy in life. There is no quick fix for that. You work for that. Yes, you build a foundation for that. And then when the sorrow, which is part of all that, joy and happiness and love, there is that sorrow that goes with it naturally as well. You'll be able to handle that. Yes? Okay, all right, all right. So, kratom, it's an addictive substance. It's concentrated in that drink enough that it has children hooked to the point where, yeah. Well, as I go and look at the story on my Facebook post. And it's amazing. How did the FDA let that go through? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. It's causing problems, and once people realize they've been addicted to it, they have to go through rehab. Yeah. But it's available out there and available to our children. Just think. Parents just say, oh, look, this is a new drink. Oh, it's really good for everyone. It's an herbal drink. Give it to their children. What are we raising out there? Why are we so clueless when it comes to this stuff? We're raising children that are going to be addicted already, that they become then what? Violent. Start to steal so they can go and buy a drink. Just saying. So sad. But then again, if you're paying taxes at all, and here's the FDA, they're supposed to be responsible for all that. And it's almost as if, what are they doing to us, to our children? I have to go and read up about everything? Yeah, you just about do now. Yes? Okay. Well, anyway, let's get going here. It's very sad. Why am I paying tax? Why am I paying? Why am I part of the paying people out there for all these organizations in the political spectrum or other stuff that then aren't doing their job? Okay. So we are in the book of Isaiah 17, against Damascus and Israel. Proclamation about Damascus. Damascus will soon cease to be a city. It will become a heap of ruins. Damascus still exists now. Its towns, abandoned forever, will be pastures for flocks. There they will rest, with no one to disturb them. Ephraim will be stripped of its defenses, and Damascus of its sovereignty. And the remnant of Aram will be treated like the glory of the Israelites, declares Yahweh Sabaoth. Really? I don't think he ever said anything like that. When that day comes, Jacob's glory will diminish. From being fat, he will grow lean, as when a reaper gathers in the standing corn, harvesting the ears of corn with his arm. Or when they glean the ears in the valley of Rephaim, nothing will remain but pickings, as when an olive tree is beaten, 2 or 3 berries left on the topmost bough, 4 or 5 berries on the branches of the tree, declares Yahweh, God of Israel. That doesn't make any sense. That day a man will look to his Creator, and his eyes will turn to the Holy One of Israel. He will no longer look to altars, his own handiwork, or to what his own fingers have made, the sacred poles and incense altars. Oh, well, that is an interesting one. I gleaned these little parts of, it's like there's a little epiphany, but it's so short that it's so short that it only is a few sentences long where you're going, yeah, you're on the right track right there. And then it gets lost again. That day its cities of refuge will be abandoned, as were the woods and heaths at the Israelites. Advance, there will be desolation, since you have forgotten the God of your salvation, and failed to keep the rock, your refuge, in mind. You plant pleasure gardens, you sow exotic seeds. The day you plant them, you get them to sprout. and next morning your seedlings are in flower. But the harvest will vanish on the day of disease and incurable pain. Disaster, the thunder of vast hordes, a thunder like the thunder of the seas, the roar of nations, roaring like the roar of mighty floods, of nations roaring like the roar of ocean. He rebukes them, and far away they flee, driven like chaff on the mountains before the wind, like an edgy excuse me, like an eddy of dust before the storm. At evening all its terror, by morning all have disappeared. Such will be the lot of those who plunder us, such the fate of our despoilers. Well, again, back to the post one more time that a sister in faith put that out and reminded us we're not out there to take anybody down. We're out there to lift people up. Yes? To what? Or pull them under what? The umbrella of God. So, that's all I have to say to this. There's a story I've been meaning to tell. Again, it's not a story, it's a true story. I with a lot of the diseases and things out there that we have now, that did not exist at that time. I have no doubt did not exist. Not saying that there wasn't any painful things going on, but again, uh, pain management is a big thing. Yes, and it can be just absolutely horrible, devastating, and euthanasia in people. I think that's what it's called, where one is terminally ill, in so much pain, and difficult to control it anymore, unless you knock them out just about with the painkillers, and as soon as they wake up, it's right back to pain. And where people have taken the route of assistant dying. Am I against that? I'm not going to persecute or judge anyone that has decided, and that goes for suicides as well. Though they're so sad, that's so sad to me. I'm not going to do that. Everyone does have the right. You'd have no right to take anyone else's life out there. Done. That includes an unborn baby. But everyone has absolutely the right, in my opinion, can make that choice, freedom of will, to end your own life. But I have a story here. And I'm not saying that okay, from what I have gleaned, sitting with dying people, in the 11th hour, that's what I did at a hospice for a number of years. That even in the worst circumstances, depending on how one is still maybe needing to atone for some things or this or that, how pain can create some amazing miracles. Offered up, given up. Billy was one of the first ones that I sat with in the 11th hour. I was called, hey, we have someone, he is so close to death, there's nobody there, we've been here with him, but we got to keep going with our work, can you come in? I said, yeah, sure. I get there, and he's so close to death that I said, well, it takes me a few minutes to get ready, so, call me again. That hospice was so great. They just didn't want anyone to die on their own, to be left alone in their last moments, yes? I get there, and here's a couple of nurses, and the pastor is in there as well, and here I am. And so I'm being introduced. This is Billy. He was 46 years old, three types of cancers: lung, brain, spinal. Oh, can't even imagine. Can't imagine the pain that he's was going through, had been going through. And so young, such a young dude. He's laying there, and his feet already had started to kind of muddle, and his limbs were very cold. And the pastor and I go up, and she says, "Hey, do you wanna sing a song?" So he was actively dying. I said, "Yeah, let's." So we sang "Amazing Grace," and we kind of sang it in harmony. This sounded really beautiful, and I had just held his hand, and and the amazing thing was that his eyes were open, and as soon as I entered the room, he was just and got close to the bed. Never looked at anybody else. He just kept staring at me. So I took his hand, they're like, "Oh, he's not really responding anymore. He's not, he's really actively dying." So we sang the song, and he just kept looking at me, this and that. I'm going, okay. So then everybody left, and I was just with him. Never closed his eyes, never went to sleep, just kept looking at me. So I started talking to him, this and that, I don't know what, and I gave him the blessing. Sneaky. I did that with all of them, by the way. Some of them could respond, but I just did it. I would just, and how would I do that? I'm not allowed to put anything in their mouth. I would take the holy wine, put it in my hands, and then rub it into their hands. Yes, that's how I did it. Then said that, said this is what this is about. No one ever, though they could have, pulled their hand out of my hand or anything like that. None of them did. Not only that, but there was just something that would happen every time in the rooms as well. Just saying, this is what it felt like for me. So here's Billy, and so I'm thinking, well, I probably won't be here for more than an hour then, and I just started, as I said, she kept staring at me, so here, and I said, well, I don't really know much about you. That's just a 46-year-old guy, and there's no family. It turns out that, or I was given that little bit of information before. Nobody wanted anything to do with him. And I'm going, okay, you got all these cancers, and no one wants anything to do with you. You're so young. You do have family. Not immediate family, I don't think, but, brothers and sisters, this or that, aunts and uncles, I'm not sure, cousins. I said, what did you do? So I said, what did you do in your life that you're at this young age are all alone? What did you do? And he just kept looking at me, going, I don't know what your belief is or whatever, but you have still some time. I noticed that his hands started to warm up again. And going, oh gosh, what am I doing here? It wasn't the first time that the nurses kind of give me that eye going, what are you doing? They're dying. Why are you keeping them alive? Right? I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking to them. Well, anyway. Yeah, I have some, as I said, even though dying is such a sad kind of thing. Look, if people are terminal and they're dying, it doesn't have to be a funeral, okay? You can still have, it can be still kind of hilarious and funny and entertaining. Okay, I'm just saying, okay, all right? People make death into such a dire thing. But when it's time for someone to go, even though the story I'm telling you, then it is time to go. Make it pleasant for the person to leave. Okay? have that transition with your support, not your lament. Just saying. The pastor came back in after some time. I've been talking to him a lot about Jesus, this and that. And I said, hey, come on over here. And she came as a woman, pastor. I said, he's ready. I think he's ready to accept Jesus in his life. And she says, no, he's not. He can't respond anymore. I said, come, listen. I said, are you... And she comes over and she says, are you ready to be saved? He said nothing. I said, hey, Billy, are you ready to receive Jesus into your life now? He says, very audibly, yes. So, her being the pastor, and I have no ordination or whatever, right? So, does it matter? I wanted a witness. So she said the saving grace, this saving grace prayer. She turns, she starts walking away, and she looks at me and she goes, wow. Yes? All right. Long story shorter, because I only have a few minutes left. I told Billy, I said, look, whatever time you have left here, and if there's still some stuff that you need to atone for, before you go to spirit world, offer the pain that you're going through, and I know you are. You know, even though he wasn't writhing or anything or this or that, but he was so awake, right? Even though he was on all these painkillers and stuff. I said, I know that you're going through pain that you can't communicate anymore, really. Offer it up to the children out there. Offer that pain up to the children out there so that they are in less pain. Go through less suffering. That the angels can carry your offering to them. Yeah, they were pretty astounded on how he suddenly was all there again. No modeling going on anymore. His body temperature went back up, this and that. After 7 hours, someone came and said, hey, we're going to relieve you. You need to go. You know, this is enough time for you here. And I said, okay. I said, well, call me again. And they didn't call me back. Again, as I said, yeah, you call Daniela and weird things happen. Billy ended up living for another 2 weeks. 2 weeks. With these horrible cancers still going through his body, no doubt in pain. 2 weeks. When he passed away, it was pretty much that night. I was laying in bed and I heard a knock. Yes, like a spiritual knock on the door that goes out into my garden from my bedroom and at the farm. And going, oh, who are you? And all I got back was, thank you. Thank you. And goodbye. And I immediately knew it was Billy. I called the next morning and said, hey, how's Billy doing? I'm assuming he's passed away a long time because he went last night. That's the story with Billy. Yeah. So, yes, I do understand. When someone is in so much pain, one wants to just end one's life. Yet, think on how much good you can do out there when you offer your pain, rather than just snuff it out. Offer up the pain. Make it mean something. If you are capable, if you can do that. Not saying, oh, that's the law now or whatever. Yes? To give that pain purpose. Yes? Okay. Well, that's all I have to share this morning. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, and embrace you with love. Yes, yeah. I will admit that last night I did take some ibuprofen because the pain became a bit much. I will admit to that, yes. And I was hoping that I could sleep. The sleep didn't really happen. I did get a little bit relief from the pain, so I could actually go. And I cleaned the kitchen, made some dinner. Yes. So okay, so at night still I was in pain, but I have to admit that did take a little bit something so I could function for the family better here. Yes. Okay. All right. Didn't say you couldn't take the painkillers. Right. Just remember that. Don't get so hopeless that you want to end it yourself. Huh? Yeah. Not persecuting, judging anyone who decides to take that route. May. Okay, that's all. My dearest brother in faith, Eldridge, I hope you're doing all right. Yes, let's keep praying together. And I will talk to y'all another time.